Welcome to Surviving Schizophrenia with Steven. My name is Steven. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I've been doing a lot of reflecting lately on my life with childhood-onset schizophrenia. And it all began a little over 12 years ago when I was in the psychiatric hospital at UCLA. I was not well. I was psychotic, I was suicidal, and I was doing terribly. But I'm doing so much better today. And I want to walk you through that and explain what I've been reflecting on with my schizophrenia lately, how I feel now versus how I was then, and how much I've recovered and what I'm looking forward to in the future. So, like I said, I was not well a little over 12 years ago, and it took a long time for me to come out of psychosis. I, I was I was just not well, and it took a lot of time and finding the right medications for me to start recovering to the point where I was brought out of psychosis 2 years later. And then I struggled with depression and anxiety. I was struggling with the loss of my childhood and my life before. I was still trying to find my way through life. But things were getting better. I began to start being able to think more clearly again. I began to really understand my illness and understand what I need to do to recover. And through that, I began to recover. I began to be stabilized on the medication. I began to do things like I went back to school, to high school, because I was in sixth grade when I fell ill. And over time, I did recover enough to actually end up getting my GED and enough to finish high school that way. And eventually enough to start this YouTube channel. And now, 12 and a half or so years later, I'm doing so much better. My stress level is way lower than it has been in a long time. My anxiety is much less. And I'm enjoying my life once again. And that feels really good to say because that was not the case for a long time. And so reflecting back on the past, I just, from when I was once, I don't know how to explain this easily. It's just, I'm proud of myself for how far I've come. And I'm excited for the prospect of my future. And my mental state now is way, way better than it was in the past. When I first felt ill and I fell into psychosis, I was delusional. I was seeing and hearing things. I was hallucinating. I was always stressed out, and the little smallest thing would stress me out. Now, I can kind of go with the flow more now. I can actually work through my stress and persevere through it. Little things don't stress me out as much as they once did, and they won't stop me from doing things. For a long time, I was very isolated, and I actually remember all I really did was just play video games and watch TV, and it was hard for me to break out of that. I remember going to a former friend's party. I got invited after a long while of not seeing people. And at that party, I was so stressed out. Absolutely stressed out. Honestly, maybe I shouldn't have even gone. I was not doing well. And it was hard for me to be around people because I hadn't been around people for so long. I remember just feeling out of place there. Versus now, where I can actually go places and not feel quite out of the place. Where I can go places and not be overwhelmed and so stressed out that I can't enjoy my time there. Now I can actually enjoy these outings and doing things out, whereas for a long time I wasn't able to. Reflecting on other aspects of my life living with childhood onset schizophrenia, I'm just so happy now that I'm able to think clearly again. That was a huge issue for a long time where I just couldn't think clearly. For example, when I first did fall ill and for years after, I couldn't do math, even simple math. it would stress me out because I couldn't figure it out. I just couldn't do like multiplication and things like that. Where once I could, you know, before falling ill, I was a straight A student and I was able to think clearly and fast and do math and do complex things and read even and stuff. And after falling ill, I was not able to read anywhere near as well. I wasn't able to do math almost at all. I wasn't able to do things that I had to do for school without stressing me out beyond belief, honestly, and not get anything done. Whereas now, I read for fun again. Whereas now, okay, I don't do math very often in my life, but I can, which is nice because that was not something I could have done before. And it doesn't stress me out anymore. So my cognitive issues are still here. I still have brain fog. I still have issues thinking on occasion, but it's so much better. Not where it was before onset, but so much better than it was even a few years ago. Like I've been recovering a lot recently, and so my cognitive issues have gotten far less. Before falling ill with schizophrenia, I was very active. I was, let's see, started like what? I made black belt in Taekwondo. I was on the multiple different basketball teams and even at a club level at a certain point. I was on the swim team. I did sailing at times during the summer. I did a lot of active stuff. And when I fell with schizophrenia, all that stopped completely. I lost the ability and the energy to exercise. And I gained weight. I didn't feel good. I was living a very sedentary life at that point. And I had tried the years since to actually get back in shape unsuccessfully for a long time. But I'm proud to say I'm exercising now and I feel way better. Where once I couldn't walk more than half a mile. Lately, in recent like couple years now, I've walked. I think my record is what like 5.5 miles at once. Now, as of the last couple weeks, I've been doing pull-ups. My record now is 15 pull-ups in one session. And that feels great because I couldn't have done that even before falling ill with schizophrenia. Really, I couldn't do pull-ups like that. But now I can, since schizophrenia. Since now I'm able to actually be active again, I feel better. And, reflecting on the past, it was hard to lose the ability to exercise and be active, but I'm so happy that it's come back now. So reflecting on my past, it makes me excited for my future. And considering how far I've come and how rapidly in the last 2 years I've recovered, I'm excited to see how much more recovered and how much better I can do in let's say 2025, let's say next year. As of recording, it's a few days away from 2025, and I'm excited to see where all this takes me. 4 years ago, I never thought I'd be a YouTuber. 4 years ago, I wasn't exercising, I'm in shape. 4 years ago, I never would have imagined I'd be here today and where I'm at today. So what does that mean for my future, I don't know. Not exactly. But I'm so excited to see where it takes me because I've come so far pretty fast. And I know I want to record more videos next year because I haven't been, well, it's been rough this last year, honestly, but I'm doing better now even then. And so I want to record more videos. I want to get back to it. And I'm going to continue to exercise and get in a better and better shape. I'm going to continue on the way I'm going. And I'm going to welcome anything that comes my way that I don't expect right now. And I'm just so excited for the new year and my future. Because I thought I'd lost that for a long time. I thought my life was over and this future would never come to pass. But it did. And that's just awesome. And I'm really excited for my future. to give an example of just how far I've come and how I'm able to handle stressful events now way better than I have in the past. In the last month or so, there's been some arguing between my parents. And in the past, when my parents have argued, it's stressed me out to the point where I have to go and like play games, like relax immediately, take anti-anxiety medication, shut myself off for a long time, and just try to work through it. And now, when my parents are arguing and having some issues, I'm able now to talk to them about it. And as a family, we're able to talk it through. And instead of shutting myself off and waiting for it to blow over, I'm now able to talk it through with my parents and us as a family talk through our issues. Because there have been some lately. And that is good. Talking is important. If you talk things through, that's how you resolve issues. And that's something that I wasn't able to do a year ago. That's something that has been a very recent thing where I can actually work through it now. Because it's tough. I live with my parents, and it's just the three of us. And when two of us are really stressed out because I have my parents, that trickles down to me and affects me. And it's hard with that. But now that we're talking, I think we're going to be able to work through this better than in the past, when we haven't talked it through. And yeah, it's still stressful, for sure. But being able to communicate has been very helpful and important for our family, for my family, to continue on as a family. And yeah, things will get better in my family. It's been really hard. Part of why I haven't posted in a little while has been because of the stress going on in my family. It's hard to record videos when you're incredibly stressed. But having talked through it with my parents, that stress is alleviating, and we're gonna work through this as a family and resolve our issues. Because, everyone has family stress and issues, right? And this is nothing unique to my family. It just stresses me out maybe a little more than most people because I have schizophrenia and I will take on the stress of others, especially my parents, especially because we're in the same house and have to live with each other. And yeah, I'm happy and able to work through it now because it's something that I wouldn't have been able to deal with very well before. So yeah, we're having some issues, but we're working through it, which is good. And we'll get through it. And our family will be probably stronger because of it. So that's reflecting on my life with childhood-onset schizophrenia. It's been a long journey from being really healthy to all of a sudden being psychotic and falling into schizophrenia and having to be hospitalized for 2 weeks to then beginning my recovery and working through all that, getting through school to now with this channel and having recovered so much. Looking back on all that, it's a lot. But lately it's also been a lot in a great way. And it's been so good now. And I'm just so excited for the future and looking towards 2025. It's going to be a good year, I feel. And just excited for you to join me on my journey here for years to come, hopefully. It's been great having all of you support me and with me here on this channel. It means so much for me to have you all here. And I hope we have a very happy new year. I hope we all have a good year in 2025. And I hope to I should also say, have a happy and healthy rest of your day. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.